Tyler Cantrell with BlazerTV.com reporting from Columbia, South Carolina, where UAB has fallen to 0-2 on this young football season. Despite the 49-6 setback, Coach McGee and his players were able to find a silver lining to help build upon moving on to Week 4.
Yeah, I thought that I'm really proud of our team. I think that our team really hung in there, played with a great attitude for a long time. I thought that they did a good job on that running back, who's one of the dominant players in the country. I think we went in at halftime and he had somewhere like 29 yards rushing. So I'm really proud of our kids, the way they hung in there and competed against one of the top teams in the country for a long time in the game. I think that there were some things that went on in the game that kind of, got them frustrated at some point. We gave up some big plays in the end, and the fact that we couldn't run the football gave them more opportunities to score points. But I'm really proud of our team. I think we're developing. I think we are getting in position to go after the Conference USA Championship. We're a better football team, even though in the win column it doesn't show. We're a better football team than we were 2 weeks ago.
I feel like we can play with anybody. We had a great first half, defensive-wise. Offense controlled the ball, and I feel like I learned that this team, we can play and battle with anybody.
The way we came out, even South Carolina, I know they fans was like, whoa, this is a whole new team that just got beat by Troy, and I'm pretty sure we kind of put a little, not to say they failed us or anything, but we put a little shaking in them, make them shake a little bit, when we first came out, with a big pick by GANUS and almost running back a kickoff return and, scoring on our first drive, getting a field goal. So, I'm pretty sure they knew we came out to play.
UAB showed up to play against the Gamecocks and took the crowd out of the game early with their steady play. But as the game wore on, UAB had several missed opportunities that made it difficult to keep up with the top 10 ranked Gamecocks.
I feel like that first half, I came in the locker room, I felt like we were winning. We gave them, that interception for a touchdown, and then, the two other touchdowns were kind of, one with pass interference, and then the other we just had, I think, a blown coverage. So I felt like we were winning the game. We made mistakes, but I knew we were in it, and, I felt like we could win the game. So I thought Coach Johnson and the defensive staff had a great game plan coming into this. Defensive-wise, I think, I'm not sure, it was like 100 and something yards at halftime, and that's a great offense, explosive, Heisman hopeful Marcus Lattimore, and I felt like we were in the right position a lot. Once again, mistakes, missed tackles, giving them points, blown. I think we had a blown coverage for a touchdown. That kind of those little mistakes. When we cut those out, we're gonna be a really good football team.
After the success that Troy had running the football against UAB in the opener, one of the storylines in this game was the success that UAB had in containing All-American running back Marcus Lattimore.
It's been my #1 priority, basically going to practice every day. We just line up, we just run zone, and that's all we really do. And just got to stop it, just trying to stop the run. That's all we've been working on really the last 2 weeks. I think we did pretty good. We prepared for him all week. We had our tight ends lined up at running back, just getting ready to tackle a big back like that. So, we just played pretty good, and I think, we expected to come in here and just, we know he's a pretty good running back, but we expect to come in here and just kind of contain him. We respect him, and I think we did a pretty good job of, containing him, for him being a good back like that.
To be able to hold Lattimore in the first half like they did, for us to get guys open the way we did and move the ball and pretty much, control the clock throughout the game against one of the top 10 teams in the country, I think it shows that we are a developing team that, we just got to keep getting better one day at a time, concentrate on being the best we can be.
Despite giving up a few sacks, UAB's young offensive line was able to show improvement as they went against one of the top defensive fronts in the country.
They are a good defensive line and good front. I feel like we managed pretty well against them. The blitzes and stuff, we managed pretty well. We just got to get better.
I think that their defensive front is one of the top defensive fronts in the United States of America. I think at some point in the game they're going to put pressure on any quarterback that's out there. I think that they have one of the #7, Clowney, is probably the best, arguably the best player in college football he could be. So those guys are going to put pressure on the quarterback. I don't think it has anything to do with anybody getting frustrated. I think that they're really talented.
After the Week 1 loss against Troy, Coach Garrick McGee made the point that there would be no moral victories for this team. However, after tonight's game, there were many in this stadium, including South Carolina head coach Steve Spurrier, who said this game was much closer than the score indicated. Next week, UAB will take on another ranked opponent as they continue their season at Ohio State. This is Tyler Cantrell reporting for BlazerTV.com.